This weird core strength training method will build rock solid abs stronger than you ever thought possible, plus a lot of really cool skills as byproducts, and it'll actually transform your entire body, and something even more important, your mind. And that's really the most critical aspect. And this transfers over to your relationships, to your finances, to all parts of life. So I'm going to show you a couple of different methods that all tie together into what we call a Dyna combo. And so by the end of our session today, you'll be able to put that in your back pocket for your future training. My name is Weiland. I'm the creator of Powerbatics, which is the 5 elements of all body weight strength and skill. I'm also the co-founder of Pacific Rim Athletics, and welcome to training. Now, huge disclaimer here. I'm going to be showing you a lot of ninja level training, so I need you to promise me something. Promise me no falls, flops, or face plants, all right? The second thing is this. Whenever you realize that body weight strength and skill is the way to go, then I want you to commit 100%, okay? No more dabbling, got it? And then the other thing is this, a lot of people mistake social media for having a mentor. Please don't make that mistake. That lands a lot of people in the situation of being stuck, frustrated, worst case scenario, injured, and sometimes without even realizing it, just training in a wrong path leads to chronic injuries that build up over time. And so it's really not age. People say they're too old all the time. It's really not that. It's doing things incorrectly or dabbling, not doing things fully. A lot of different variability that leads people to believe in those myths when those myths are really a lie. And you can train and have sustainable strength and skill like I'm going to show you today. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is this. 99% of people are not going to have the kind of rock solid abs. Really what I'm talking about is the core strength from all directions that you're truly designed to have. And there's a reason for that, and that is this. People are mistaking compartmentalized training, thinking I'm going to do ab exercise, I'm going to do core exercises. They're not doing the holistic training that's necessary. Here, as an example, I'll show you this. So starting off, just hanging the front arm, okay? Now, a lot of people will be at risk right now because of the fact that they're not training all parts together. And so a simple hang is already requiring a couple of areas of flexibility. Did you know that people have torn their shoulders just from doing a simple hang like that? And did you know that it also requires back flexibility, especially in the lower back, to be able to hang like I just showed? So that's where we start off. This is recruiting the entire body, even down to the toes, and we'll get into that in a minute, but everything from pinky finger to pinky toe. Matter of fact, the hang was the first exercise for pulling strength. I know we're talking about core today, but for pulling strength, after I tore my bicep, I didn't do curls, I didn't do anything like that whenever I was coming back. At first, it was pushing. It was pushing on the floor. It was V stands, it was bridges, it was just pushing and just starting to gain some range of motion in my arm. And it hurt so bad to turn my hand over this way. But the first real test and the first door that opened, I guess, to real training was just hanging from the bar, just like I showed. And in that case, it was the supine group. And this is over, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. But either way, when we go to machines, when we go to gizmos, gadgets, and gurus, and these mainstream methods and so on and so forth, they compartmentalize people's training, and really they're compartmentalizing people's minds, that they think that they have to do X and then Y and then Z, and we need to put it all together. And so hanging is the first part of that. And then as that transfers into the core strength, this is how that occurs. So if we're in this hang here, okay, really, every muscle is engaged right now to keep the body from falling apart, from just disintegrating, okay, due to the forces pulling us back to the earth. So whenever we start to pull our legs up like this, just to a tuck, okay, our arms are engaged and our core is engaged, and this is the first step. And then being able to extend like that to a hanging L. So just doing that, you try that, you're gonna immediately feel that it's a full body situation. Grips, forearms, biceps, lats, tying everything into your core. and then the hip flexors start to engage as you lift the legs. And so everything is being worked simultaneously, and that's the beauty of it, okay? And we're just getting started. This isn't even the tip of the iceberg. This is just the little ice shaving off of the edge of it, okay? So that is the first part right here of just the hang, and then up, and then the extend to the L, and look at the feet. Toes pointed, legs extended forward. And everything is flexed, everything is working, like I said, from pinky finger to pinky toe. Next aspect is this. A lot of people want to have a strong core, okay? There's the desire, there's the innate desire to have strength as a human being, and that is perfect. And keep going and believe that you can attain it, because you can. I know you can, and sometimes people don't believe that they can attain it. They have the initial desire, but they don't believe that they can attain it. But I know you can, okay? I know you can. With the right things in place, with the right systems in place. Something huge, even for me, is the community. Whether that looks like accountability, whether that looks like just people training together, however that looks, but a lot of those things come together and they accelerate people's training like you wouldn't believe. So that's the first step, is shifting our mindset, okay? And we have to shift also out of doing things incorrectly. And so like I said, a lot of people want to be able to do this, but they have the desire, they don't have the belief, and they have all their beliefs that are coming in and shifting the mind to a path of training that doesn't work. And oftentimes it doesn't even make sense. Here's what I mean. Every little exercise compartmentalized for the abs that you can think of. Let's say crunches, let's say leg raises and V-ups, everything where you're laying on the ground, the seated Russian twist, everything that is just working the abs and not working the abs to control the rest of the body. Does that make sense? I'm gonna illustrate with this move if I can show you. So the next one that we're gonna look at, and like I said, at the end of this video, we're gonna connect all of these together into what's called a dyna combo. But here's the next move. So we're here and then here. If we lift up and go toes to bar, and then we drop that all the way down around, circle back up. So right there, we're dealing with a lot of different positions, a lot of things that you probably wouldn't see in a mainstream gym. We're looking at things in terms of the small skills and the small pieces that we start to put together into this larger puzzle. So we have this giant leg circle, using the core, using the obliques for twisting, and starting to really connect everything. And again, the major point here is that instead of having the desire and not having the belief and then going down the wrong path that leads to wrong training, okay? So you wanna have a strong core, but you're doing it wrong, which isn't producing the results that you really want, then that you're really designed to attain, okay? The human body is designed to be able to do extraordinarily more than we can even realize. And so this is one way of connecting everything to have the core become the main engine that's driving the motion for the rest of the body. And on top of that, doing things with a little bit of variability. You'll notice I haven't mentioned anything about sets or reps. And most of the videos you'll see about the core or about building abs in just a short period of time are saying it's these many reps or this much time. I'm not mentioning anything about sets or reps right now. It's about building whatever I'm just showing you, okay? So we have the tuck, we have the L extension, we have this circle. And we have a lot of students from kids all the way up to big kids in their 60s and beyond training this way and making monumental gains in terms of injury recovery all the way to advanced strength and skill. And some people have started all the way back here and they've made that big journey. And I can think of dozens and dozens of people that are doing that. And for this element of Powerbatics, this is called ninja strength. It's what we call ninja strength. It's done from anything simple to hang from, like this bar right here. And in fact, they've done it in a relatively short period of time when you do it properly. And that stems from the desire, but having the right beliefs and then going down the correct path that leads to the fulfillment of that desire. And in the case of this training, it can be done in a relatively short period of time. Now, here's the timeline so that you're familiar. It takes 200-day cycles for flexibility to transform. So that means connective tissue is being stretched like gum to get to new ranges of motion. Now, it doesn't stop there, so a lot of people that are really flexible, they'll be hypermobile, and that'll lead to chronic injury and even catastrophic injury. On the other side, people that don't have any flexibility at all, or maybe they think they do, but they really don't, and they have muscle or they have strength, they're a recipe for disaster, because any little range of motion beyond what their body is ready for, there's zero strength. And that means immediate injury, catastrophic, all right? And so understanding the timeline will help you to set realistic expectations of what's possible. And here's the crux of this matter, is that if you are not seeing the desires that you want take place within those timeframes, then something is off. So it's time to reevaluate or have someone else come and have objective eyes on what it is you're doing so that you can avoid getting stuck, frustrated, injured, and all that. Making this happen in a short period of time is working on the flexibility simultaneously with the strength, like what we're doing right here. And so let's add another piece to the puzzle. And primarily what we're looking at in terms of flexibility on all of these pieces is hamstring flexibility and shoulder flexibility. So shoulder flexibility for the hangs, and then hamstring flexibility to be able to pull the legs into those positions. And like the second point of this video, it all stems from the core. And so isolated core exercises, small ranges of movement that cause that burn in your abs really isn't doing what you think it is. It needs to extend. We need to be opened up when we do ab exercises hanging from the bar. And that's just one small piece, just the ninja strength section of Powerbatics. But that is using your core as the lever to move all of this weight all over. And we want to be able to do that as a good, solid, strong human being. Okay, so the next one, so we go here, and then bang, here, and then it moves up, circle, and then we go to a pull-up position, okay, simultaneous strength. This is a really cool move for building a front lever, boom, and back to our chin hang. That's called, I've heard it called an ice cream maker, but it's a really nice way of getting the body to that extended position of the front lever and being able to feel it, and then coming back and working the upper body strength a little bit. So that is very, very good for the core. The front lever is something that has really helped me with sustainability in terms of the lower back. And I'm hearing this too from other students. Venny has had a front lever. It's really helped him with his overall athleticism. We've got a number of other students that are at different stages and levels of development for that. But this exercise, this move, this strength move, especially whenever connected with everything else, is building your core rock solid. So let's go ahead and finish this up with the finale move. This is gonna be a meat hook done on one arm, and you'll see how this develops the twisting strength. And so that last move there was the meat hook. You can see is coming together into a dyna combo, into a little mini routine that's building the entire body from head to toe. Now, yeah, we aren't doing single leg squats or heavy barbell squats with the legs right now, but they're being worked, they're being engaged because we're lifting them 8 feet into the air. We're keeping them flexed. We're thinking about where we are in space, not just letting our legs flap around like a rag doll, but they're straight, they're pointed. We've got control over our whole system, over our body in space. And so let's go ahead and put this together, all together as a dyna combo, and then you'll see, even at the very end, how the legs are being worked too, and this is all being driven by the core. Now, some of these moves you may be able to do. Some of them you may not. The whole idea of this is to literally expose your weak links, because you're only as strong as your weakest link. I've seen people come in and just crank out muscle ups, or crank out single leg squats, or crank out front walkovers and back walkovers, whatever they're good at. That's cool, and it builds more strength, more power. You can add speed, you can have fun, but exposing the weak links is how you get stronger. One at a time. Got it? So when we do core training like this, it's really just full body training all day, every day, and we put it into a little mini routine like a Dyna combo for Powerbatics in the ninja strength element, we're getting a completely different style of training. We're getting our mind disciplined and focused and learning new skills. We're learning patience because if you've ever tried training and learning a new skill or getting stronger in a different area, you know you're going to come up against roadblocks, and it's going to demand that you become a better person overall. And so that's really the nature of this training. That's why I like it so much, is because not only are you physically transforming, but you're getting that mental change as well. And I'm sure that you've probably seen that in your own life. And imagine that. Imagine being able to have the control to do a chin up, to go into a core move, to transition, to be able to move how you want. You're designed to be able to move that way. We just got to put in the training to make it happen. So what's next? What are the next steps? Well, you can subscribe to this channel, a lot of free content. You can opt in for free, connect with me and my team. A lot of emails that we send out. If you want to enroll, you can do that too. We can get you going up at light speed within the next day or so, and get you crushing strength and skill that really, and we hear people saying this literally all the time, they can't believe what they're doing now. So if you want to do that, you can access that too. Again, my name is Lee Weiland, Pacific Rim Athletics Powerbatics. I'll see you in the next video and in training soon.